Yeah, Enigma in the house. My man J-Span, Titan Studios. It's called From the Heart. Keeping it real is what all the song's about. Never selling your soul. Always staying true to yourself. Alright, yeah. Check it out. Money, cars, but would never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart. Yeah, money, cars, but would never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the start. Man, money, cars, but would never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart. Yeah, money, cars, but would never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the start.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite weekly sports show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is them boys. It is ITC Sportsball. And of course, I am your man, Jerome Span. You know, prettiest face on ITC, baby. Hey. And of course, we are here with the legendary crew. We have got that hot take spitter, the man who rips like Darrell spits. He is the modern day Ali of the microphone. He is that man.
Hey, you know it's your boy Mase ready to come back. Season 3 about to be hot.
Ooh, hot and spicy. And of course, we have got ITC's resident troll. He is that guy that sees a fire going. He's got a bucket of gasoline mixed with gunpowder ready to go and to throw it on top and get your fire going. He is that man, Darrell.
I don't want to be associated with the fire starters because fire starters over here are too much nowadays. There's been a lot of fire things going on lately. I don't want to be associated with that. I'm a guy that throws dry ice at people. That's what I
am. Like that's any better. Like that's any better.
At least you be cold.
Chemical burns.
Chemical burns. And blunt force trauma.
Yep. Golden.
And y'all wonder why we say he's the troll around here. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are back this week to give you your NFL special. We are picking our division winners along with Super Bowl winners and award winners this episode. And of course, we will bring you some hot fire from our man. Yeah, I know y'all missed him here. Our man Mase is over here. He's always got some hot fire inside his soul. So don't you ever fret, people. He will give you a little madness. But we got to get to this football business here. And of course, before we get there, make sure while you're over here listening to this or liking this or watching this, make sure you go like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. We appreciate y'all people. Make sure you are notified every time we drop something new. You better make sure you hit that bell because we're going to be dropping all types of hot fire for season 3. But we might as well get things going here. Talking about the NFL. And of course, preseason has gotten started. I know we're coming to you a day later than we normally would, but we needed to get some of those preseason games out of the way. So might as well start with Mace's favorite division, the NFC East. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a division winner and a second place team out of there. So we will see where everybody stands on this. So Mase, this is your division. This is your home turf right here. So tell us, who is winning the NFC East this year? And mind you, people, before he says something, because I already know he probably going to pick the Cowboys, there hasn't been a back-to-back division winner in the NFC East in I don't know how many years.
It's been 10. I believe it's like 10.
So who you got, Mase?
I'm picking the Cowboys. What you mean? What did you think I was going to do?
We already starting this.
You thought the Eagles made enough stride to be 90 points better than they were last year? Because let's not act like we didn't blow them out twice combined to 90 points. Are they 90 points better than they were last year? No. They good enough for second place, though. Bet you that. That's about it. But we taking this home, baby. Cowboys. But I think it's going to be on the strength of our defense, though. It has to be because them Joneses, I can't stand either one of them. I'm not going to say neither one of their first name. Them Joneses just decided to throw Dak out there with a bunch of who-dats and how they make it in the leagues. So Dak got his work cut out for him. But yeah, bro, Cowboys. I really just don't see nothing any of these other teams have done makes me believe that they have closed the gap.
Darrell, who you got winning the league this year in the NFC East? Who you got?
What's their new name again? What's their new name?
Oh God, you better not.
You are not picking the Commanders. You stop.
Yeah, I have more faith in the Commanders than a horrible Philly team, a delusional New York team, and definitely a team that always be saying we're going to do it and fail every freaking time. I'm not dealing with it. Commanders have the best potential out of that nonsense, because if you think the Cowboys are going to do something, that's like wishing. That's like a wet dream for you, Mase. New York is New York, and them Eagles be like half the people in Philadelphia, delusional. So at the end of the day, Commanders is the only guaranteed right there. That's easy. You gave me 3 easy ones. Going Commanders. Mace is okay. I'll put a blanket on top of you, let you know.
For those of you just listening to us through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all that good stuff here, Mase has a look of utter disgust on his face, and it's about to get worse because I am picking the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC East this year. And the reason why is simply because I feel like, hey, we watched last year where Jalen Hurts had to put the entire team on his back. There's no way they're going to do that again this year. You've already seen with the little bit of preseason football that we've seen from that team that they're going to be running a more balanced offense. They're going to stop trying to have Jalen Hurts win the game every time. They also added in A.J. Brown, which we know that dude is a dog, no matter what anybody wants to say, no matter how dumb the Titans were for not paying him, thinking they got Tannehill. We'll be okay. We'll get there, though. But I've got to go with the Eagles, man. The Eagles still have one of the best offensive lines in the league. They have one of the better defenses. I don't know how you're going to actually beat this team unless Jalen Hurts throws them out of games, and I think they're going to stop asking him to be so much a Superman and say, hey, be Superman for us in moments. That way you don't have to do it all the time. So my pick for winning the division is the Philadelphia Eagles. Mase, who you got winning as a second place team then?
I have the Eagles. They are, Carson Wentz is heading the Commanders' charge. I don't have to say anything more about that. And
charge to the first pick.
And somehow the Giants have not figured out that Daniel Jones just ain't that guy yet. I don't know how. I don't know. I think this is one of those moments where they're just like, we have to be right about him or all of us are getting fired.
In the words of our boy Giuseppe, he fits the profile of what they want him to look like, Mase. That's why. Okay, let's just call it what it is, baby. Let's call it what it is. All right, Darrell, who you got being in second place in the East this year?
Do I have to pick this?
You have to. Because look, the top 2 teams, there's always going to be 2 teams, and more than likely, the second team is going to be fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So
this is a horrible bias, and I refuse to pick those 2. I'll pick New York.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just throw Darrell's picks out for the NFC East entirely. His bias has gotten all the way in the way. For me, this is a very easy pick. It is Cowboys is my second team in the East. Here's my thing. I think there's going to be 2 playoff teams coming out of the East again this year. I think the Cowboys and the Eagles will both be back in the playoffs, with the Eagles winning the division. The other 2 teams in that division are absolutely laughable. Look, the worst part about it is those teams have some pieces that you would probably like on a better team, but on that team, it doesn't equate to anything, right? So we just know what the Commanders are going to be. Look, man, we killed Carson Wentz on here all last season, people. If you think any damn way we was going to, me and Mase, who were biases, well, Mase is biased a little bit in the way, right? But ain't going to let a full bias get in the way like Darrell. You thought we was going to pick the Commanders? Hell, Carson, mark my words right now, people. Carson Wentz will be on the bench by week 6. He going to be on the bench because he's going to throw him out of games.
Heineke gonna be out there running the show.
I'm telling you now, by week 6, Carson Wentz on the bench. I promise you.
Don't.
Darrell's so disgusting. But moving forward here, we have got a division that honestly is pretty clear cut, and I'd be surprised if anybody goes anywhere wild with this. We've got the NFC South here. So, Mase, who you got winning the NFC South?
You know what? I am going to take a little stroll down the wild side of things and go with the Saints. You heard me, man. I feel like the Saints are going to win. And listen, dog, at some point, Tom Brady will be a detriment to that team. I listen, dog. I cannot sit here and believe that a 46-year-old Tom Brady is just going to be slinging that thing again to the benefit of his team. Some got to give. He's missing an interior. He has a whole new interior offensive line. Some's got to give, bro. Some has to give.
That was surprising. Darrell, who you got?
Get out of your feelings, Bucket. The Bucks. Bucks. One. The one. We are the ones.
Ain't the Usos. Stop that. Stop that right now. Okay. For me, this is actually a fairly easy pick. I would love for Jameis and them boys to do this, like Mase is saying, but ain't no way in hell I am picking against them. Ain't no way I'm picking the Panthers with Baker Mayfield and his 800-foot mountain chip on his shoulder. I'm not picking the Falcons with Marcus Mariota. Sorry, Devo. Hell no. I don't believe in Mariota or the rookie. What's his name, Mase?
Ritter. Desmond Ritter.
Look, Ritter may have looked good in that first preseason game, but he was playing against backups. It's a whole different ball game once you get to the regular season and you're actually playing against starters. So, sorry, even if he plays good, they're probably still only winning like 5 games this year, right? But for me, the Bucs are clearly still the team that is above and like head and shoulders above everybody else. They still won the division last year with all the injuries they had, which should have tanked their entire season. Truly should have tanked it, but it didn't. They still managed to get in the playoffs, right? So for me, this is a very, very easy pick. I'm actually very shocked at this dude, Mase, that he really picked the Saints. He's out here reaching right now, in my opinion. But regardless, I got the Bucs here. Mase, who you got as your second place team?
Obviously it's Tampa Bay. This is going to be another one of the divisions with 2 teams in the playoffs coming out of there. Like I said, bro, sometimes you just got to believe in the Saints, man. I don't know what it is, but from time to time they overperform, and their record versus Tampa Bay in particular is good. So, I mean, as long as Jameis wasn't throwing them out of games before the injuries. All reports are that Michael Thomas is looking every bit of what he was before the injuries. So that's a security blanket right there that they have. The defense is still intact. I think that defensive unit is one of the better units in the league, in my opinion. So that's why I picked the Saints over Tampa Bay. But yeah, I see both of those teams making the playoffs with Saints 1, Tampa Bay 2.
All right, Darrell, who you got as your second place team?
Saints. I'll pick Saints. I'll pick Saints for being second. He had good points, but I wasn't going to pick him first. That's all.
Crazy enough, I was going to say the exact same thing. Mase made all the points that I was going to make here, except I just disagree with him. I don't think this is going to be the division that sends the other division that sends 2 playoff teams into the NFC playoffs. I don't think this is going to be the one. I think the Saints will probably fall like a game short because look, man, we are supporters of Jameis around here, right? But he gonna throw them out of one game at least because he may be able to see now, but Jameis still loves to throw it up, baby, throw it up.
Hey, Olave has proven himself so far to be out there waiting for them,
and thankfully for them, it looks like can't guard Mike is finally ready to play some ball again. So we will see what ends up happening there. But yeah, I don't think that the Saints are going to be a second playoff team there. I just think that they're prone to just throw away some games this year, and I see it happening, especially with the first-year head coach. I can't be that all in like you are. But moving forward here to one of the most interesting divisions in football, and arguably you can say is the best division in football, the NFC West. Mase, there are 3 certified dogs in this division, so I am curious to see who are you picking to win the division.
I got to go with the Rams again. I'm not I don't know what else I need to say here. This is just the Rams, they have outside of the questions at offensive line with Big Wit retiring, I don't see them having too much trouble again, except with San Francisco, because they just have their number.
Darrell, who you got?
Super Bowl champs. I've got to get the Rams. Rams is first. That's all I'm going to say. Rams are first. I'm not going to dispute it. Come on now. Who's going to pick the Seahawks first? Let's be honest. Who's going to do that?
Whoa. Who the hell would be talking about the Seahawks? Stop that now. Nobody's talking about the Seahawks. Okay. For me, I have to vehemently disagree with you guys. I think they'll be able to hide the loss of Whitworth through the first couple of games of the year. But when teams start getting that film and figuring out, oh, wait a minute, their left tackle can't block 101 like that. Okay, we know where we're going to attack them. I think it's going to cost them, and especially it's going to cost them when they go up against the team that I am picking to win the division, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. In my opinion here, this is like what Kyle Shanahan has been dreaming about for like 4-5 years with Jimmy Garoppolo, where he's like, oh my God, I can actually throw the ball down the field more than once a game? Oh my goodness. Combine that with as creative as you know they were last season on offense. I think they're going to do the same thing again this year. They've got more weapons. They seem like they're going to be working Ayuk into some of these this rushing plan too. They have a quarterback that we know has the arm talent to make all the throws, and they have an offensive line that is, we know them boys have a competition with the Eagles, in my opinion, for one of the best offensive lines in the league, right? So, and we've got to give them credit. Shout outs to Trent Williams for being the first offensive lineman to ever be a 99 overall since they've been doing this 99 club in Madden. So congrats to that man.
Man, Trent Williams, he is a grizzly bear, son. He ain't no dog. He's a bear. This man, this is a very large human being.
All right, if you had to deal with it, an angry Trent Williams chasing you, trying to kill you, or a bear, which one are you taking?
I'm taking the bear. I'll just be real with you, bro. If Trent Williams wants to kill me, bro, I can't outrun him.
Nope.
He's got thumbs. He can do all kinds of extra stuff with that. At least with a bear, you know, there could be cognitively, he's smarter than the bear, so I can't outthink him. The bear, at least there's like some small sliver of hope that I can get away from the bear.
Darrell, who you got? Trent Williams or the bear? He's thinking about it. He's like, whoa, this is a tough one. I don't know what to do. So Trent Williams or the bear? Now remember, before you risk saying Trent Williams, just remember that big dude runs like, I think he ran like a 4.5 or something like that. So just remember
he's a lot faster than you. Just know that.
Hey, he can trip on a banana peel.
What the hell you think this is? Acme Cartoons?
That's what the NFL is at this point. They only care about money. It ain't about freaking skill. It's like who can pay me the most, and that's
man, make the
run on money.
Trent Williams or the bear?
Pick. Yeah, Trent Williams or the bear.
Trent Williams.
Oh, you crazy. I'm taking the Bear. I'm just like Mase. Hey, Trent Williams get his hands on me.
With the intent to harm me, bro. Like I said, at least the Bear, I might have a chance to outthink the Bear.
Darrell,
I can't outthink him.
I weigh like 235 now, right? So I can move. I can make something move.
But it's
he outweighs me by over 100 pounds, Darrell. No, and he's faster than me. No.
And he's got thumbs.
I can juke a little bit. I can't juke Trent Williams.
I'm gonna ask you this one question: what does a wet floor do to a person that's fast?
Hey, what's the wet floor do to a bear? That bear gonna be whoop, 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 whoop. It's gonna look like an cartoon too. I don't know what you're talking about. But I got a sidetrack there. I totally got a sidetrack. All right, so all that being said, yeah, obviously I picked the 49ers. Mase, who you got as your second place team?
I have the 49ers as the second place team, and I probably didn't make this clear. I only saw one team coming out of the NFC East, so my other division where I have a playoff team is obviously the NFC West out there. I do think the 49ers will make it very close, but I just think at some point Trey Lance's inexperience will probably cost them a game or two where they should have won, and probably put them right there on the heels of the Rams to make them at least feel the pressure a little bit of this team coming up behind them. But yeah, I think they'll be second place. I think they'll be the other playoff team, and I think that it's going to be a two-man race, because I obviously don't really have that much faith in the Arizona Cardinals after like week 7. You look at them since Kyler Murray's gotten there. It's two different offenses from like week 7, 8 on from the beginning of the year. So I don't see any of that changing unless Cliff Kingsbury wakes up one day and realizes his mistakes, which a lot of times these young offensive guys don't, because they think that their poop don't stink. So, yeah.
All right, Darrell, who you got as your second place team in the NFC West?
Cardinals. I just want to pick the Cardinals because understand, like, we know they goofed up and, took the choke after having that long, nasty streak. But at the same time is you can't really just go off of what players, because this year is going to be that dumb year that the opposite happens. Like, it could happen. Like, shit.
It could happen, but also it's not a bad thing to go with trends, though. I mean, this is like a trend for the Cardinals.
This ain't crypto. We ain't going to do that. We ain't going to see no trends. This ain't no. No, this ain't crypto. Oh, let me see what happened last year,
but it happened the year before, and the year before, and the year before. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who they are.
Nah, the NFL gets worse every fucking year. You know this. This is true.
You got a fine. You catching the first fine of the year. $5 fine, sir. $5 fine right there.
He made me do it.
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for you that don't know, because I know some of y'all be listening to this stuff with your kids. We trying to clean it up a little bit more. You gonna hear it. Look, you gonna hear the N word, right? You gonna hear that. You gonna hear nigga, okay? But we trying to cut out.
Fine.
No, that's not a fine. I made the rules very clear. You can still say nigga, but you cannot be using cuss words, because we're trying to clean it up. Because I know some people listen to stuff around their kids.
Cuss word to black people.
Appreciate to y'all. Hey, be quiet. But again, so that's $5 fine for you, Darrell. I'll be collecting that later on, sir. $5. I told y'all niggas when you're playing this game. So, and then you're gonna try, and then I should find you 5 more for trying to blame Mase for what came out of your mouth. What the hell is that?
We got good edits. Edit it out.
We should do the SpongeBob Dolphin.
Hey, look, it's gonna get edited out, but you still got a $5 fine. That ain't stopping. $5, homie. I'll collect that later.
We should do the SpongeBob Dolphin.
Man.
Or the boom. Just get him with a boom.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, see, I knew it was going to be Darrell. I had a feeling in my gut. I just didn't want to say it. I was like, yeah, it's going to be Darrell who slips first. I know it.
See, I've coached youth football before, so I know how to use it. I got some colorful euphemisms. And I'm just ready. That I'm just ready to.
I ain't filtering nothing.
All right. We got
Darrell gonna fill up the fine bucket. But my second team in the NFC and the NFC West this year is going to be the Rams. I have no faith and belief in the Cardinals. They are not going to get off to as good of a start. They are missing DeAndre Hopkins for 6 weeks. They will probably play really good after he comes back because their offense is going to dynamically shift now because now you have one of the best wide receivers in football on your team. He's still a top 5 wide receiver at this point, right? But I think they're going to crap away some of those games early in the year. They're going to do it over and over. And what's going to result is that they're going to be behind the 8 ball later in the season as Trey Lance has started to figure it out more and more. And we know that the Rams are probably going to keep it rolling, right? McVay manages to if he made it keep it rolling with Jared Goff, he can make it keep rolling even if he loses Whitworth, right? So I think this is in my other division where 2 teams are coming out for sure and going to the playoffs. But yes, I have no faith in the Cardinals. The Seahawks aren't even in this discussion. They're in a rebuild year this year, clearly, right? So they're not even there. So it's really a 3-team race. And the Cardinals, I can't trust the fact that Kyler Murray, a guy that they felt that they needed to put a clause in his contract that said, hey, my boy, you have to do X amount of extra studying per week. That does not fill me with confidence to say that this dude is the guy that's going to be able to put the team on his back without D-Hop.
And contrary to what they believe, man, I really think that them coming out and saying, oh, we're going to take that clause out makes them look even worse. Makes them look even worse. Decision.
Terrible. Like, listen, if you
should have just left it in there and not said anything about it.
Hey, look, they could have just simply said, yes, we put it in there, but we know our quarterback is going to achieve those goals every week. It's just something we wanted to put in there, an easy way for him to get some extra money by doing the right thing. That's all they could have did. They could have simply said that. That's it.
We love our quarterback. This is another way for us to get him a little extra cash in his pocket.
But instead they got defensive, didn't know how to sit there and put the response out in the media, and now they look like it's a whole clown show down there, which a lot of us were suspecting beforehand. If you were reading the reports coming out of there, it was seeming a lot like a clown show. I mean, a coach that you just watched have a epic fail at the end of the year, you give him an extension. I mean, it kind of tells you the type of clown situation that it is. But let's not get caught on the Cardinals because we're going to probably talk plenty about them during the year because, we know the stories is going to come if things start going bad. So, because, hey, Mase, because we know one thing, the coach ain't got no accountability and the quarterback ain't got no damn accountability. So, good luck. But moving forward here, we're going to the division that's near and dear to my heart. And that is the NFC North, as y'all can see, you know what I'm saying? Got on the Chicago note, got that C, baby. You know what I'm saying? Repping the squad. And, I think this is another pretty clear-cut division. So, Mase, I will ask you straight away, who you got as the division winner?
I still have the Packers, and I think they were going to lean on their defense a little bit more this year. This is a really good defensive unit. It looked as if Rashawn Gary has kind of turned the corner as a pass rusher, so pun intended. So the secondary is really strong. Jair Alexander will be back. Eric Stokes, he played really well. I think they're going to lean on the defense a little bit more, and Aaron Jones as a playmaker offensively, obviously. And as long as the offensive line stays healthy, I think Aaron Rodgers will figure it out.
Darrell, who you got? Oh, God, he over here thinking this hard. Stop playing. You are not doing this right now. Who you got, man?
The Packers. I got Packers. We support Aaron Rodgers.
Who is we? Let's start right there. Who is we?
Your man.
Could you define we a little more for me, please?
You and you.
You talking about me?
Huh?
How that? Huh?
Hey, y'all must have been smoking that wacky today. So y'all in silence right now. It's so great.
How is
I don't support the devil. I just know not to pick against him in prime time.
How the hell is two people who refer to him as the devil? How is he our man's? How, Sway? How? I need answers.
Because y'all always trying to do the devil's work. Anyway.
Wow, bro. It's messed up. It's messed up, bro. It's messed up.
Yeah, but I picked the Packers. The Packers are the Packers as long as Aaron Rodgers is on there. And what I'm going to do, pick the Bears. I know I don't want to get against the team. I'm just saying, like, the Bears been slipping. You've been saying it, so can't pick them. Oh, I'm going to pick the Lions. No, they're not even a good betting team. And the Vikings. Vikings probably going to be my second, tell you the truth. So you might as well get my shit out the way.
$5 more, bro. $5 more. You owe $10 in today's show. $10 in one show. We gonna get you right. That's $10 now. That's another $5 fine.
Well, we all do it. We all do that.
Excuse
that word.
Excuse me, sir. You were told what the rules were way ahead of time. This wasn't like this was just sprung on you. $5 more.
My mouth is not connecting to my brain. It's not my fault.
and for those that want to know what's going to happen with these fines that we put in for people, at some point, probably towards the end of the football season, we're going to do a giveaway for one of our real fans that sit here, subscribes, listen to us, holds us down all the time, right? We're going to do a giveaway and choose one of y'all fans out there to we're going to slide you the fine money bucket, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to treat you right. But Darrell,
hey, he's helping us out.
You seem like you about to be putting money in the fine bucket all year
weekly.
long.
He about to be weekly deposits.
It's about to be a long season for you in that fine bucket, bro. Let me tell you.
Oh, you know what? December's all over if they put that shit.
I see. Look at that. He just got fired.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be over for me. It's gonna be over for this football. Don't even add boxing to it. It's over.
Darrell gonna be paying for one of our listeners' Christmas around here the way he keep going. But all right, but moving on here. For me, this is a fairly straightforward thing here. I think the Packers are still going to win, even with the loss of Davante Adams. As Mase was saying, the team is very, very solid. I hate to say things like that because I hate the Packers with the passion, right? But the team is very solid. They have a good offense, a good defense. They'll probably lean a little bit more on the run this year, as Mase was saying, because of the loss of Davante Adams. And I don't see that Minnesota has caught up enough just by changing from Mike Zimmer to them because, again, they still have this guy named Kirk Cousins. So I'm going to have to say, it's most definitely Green Bay. So, Mase, who do you have as your second place team?
For the reason that you just mentioned, Kirk Cousins, I cannot pick them as the number 2 team because I think that with an offense that is going to be, I guess, more wide open, I think we're going to see Kirk Cousins actually be who we know he is, which isn't very good. So number 2, I feel like the second team in this division. I think it could go one of 3 teams. I think this is a toss-up, to be honest with you, because I don't see there much difference between the rest of the teams in that division. So, You know what, man? I'm gonna throw him a bone this year. I gotta go Detroit. I like their receiving core. And like I said, Jared Goff has never been actually really bad. It's just that he has a propensity to hold on to the ball a little too long.
Smoke could tell you different, but we know Smoke is very angry. Shout out to our boy Smoke, bro. We appreciate you.
Yeah, but I have the Detroit Lions there. I really like the receiving core. I think DJ Chark, I think he wants to prove something.
DJ Chark,
and Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was the only receiver that I believe didn't drop of like 79 targets or something like that. I think he had the most targets without a drop last year as a receiver. I think it was something on the lines. It was something like 79 or so or 80 targets without a drop. So you got a short.
Hold on. Actually, I got you right here. I got the number for you right here. He had 119 targets and 90 receptions and 0 drops.
So yeah, I mean, you have a sure-handed guy like that. Hopefully DeAndre Swift can actually stay healthy and put a good season up. I really liked him coming out of college. It's just about being available at this point. So yeah, I have them as a number 2 team, but like I said, I think it's going to be a fight for the number 2 team in that division. So,
Darrell, who you got as your number 2 team?
Oh, Vikings, like I said. Remember? I said Vikings.
Oh yeah. This guy, he did already give us. He already told us. But for me, I'm going to go with the Bears, but I think it can easily be the Lions. I think those 2 teams are going to finish within 1 game of each other. I know people are going to tell us, oh man, you guys hate on Kirk Cousins too much. Look, man, he's the definition of like average. And the problem with that is that at this point with that roster, the way it's constituted, they need him to be more than average, and he won't do that. He will constantly put up garbage time numbers. That's what Kirk Cousins does. He puts up numbers when the team is behind. But if you ask him to put the team on his back, it's not happening. So I'm going to take the Bears. I think their defense will be a little bit better than what a lot of people are expecting, especially after last season where the team really did not have a great secondary. We had 2 players that played at the level of at least decent in the secondary. Everybody else was awful. I think Robert Quinn is probably going to come back and have another good year. So I think it could easily be the Bears, and I think we see big strides forward for Justin Fields and potentially, well, I believe Mooney will too, but I'm also going to say Cole Kmet and Velus Jones take a step forward and show you that, hey, the Bears have something there and they have some type of fundamental base to build on. But it could easily, like I said, easily be the Lions. I think the Lions are in that, like Mase said, they're in that same position to where they're not really as bad as what people think. And they're not going to win all the games they should because they're still a young team. But they're going to win some games and be like, man, that team's got something there. So for me, it is most definitely the Lions as the second team there. But each and every week, ladies and gentlemen, we take a trip into the mind of a madman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your favorite weekly segment. This is Mase's Madness.
I'm gonna give you a little red tint. It ain't as nice as we would like it because we got a little bit of a glare, new setup. But I gotta ask y'all something. Did y'all really think that you could just break into the FBI? Did you think that was gonna be a thing? Like, did you think that you could arm yourself well enough to get inside the FBI? Is that what people have been telling y'all? Is that what you believe? I can't. If you don't put your hand down, we are not in school. Put your hand down.
I need content. I need content to what you're saying. Break it into FBI. First off, this doesn't even sound like safe to do. Like, come on now. This is not.
I cannot think of the gentleman's name right now, but we had a gentleman who thought that the FBI was doing a wrong by completing a search warrant on Agent Orange's residence. So he put it upon himself to break into the FBI and to attempt to give them a piece of his mind. It didn't work out because he could not break through bulletproof glass. Surprise. I think not.
I just want to make it clear that traitor to our country's name is Ricky W. Schiffer.
Mr. Ricky.
Wait. What's his last name again?
Schiffer?
Schiffer. It's Shifer.
Why couldn't he do that glass with his last name? It could have did something.
Okay, like I said,
want somebody else to get fined, Mase.
Like I said, Mr. Ricky, what were you thinking, bro? Like, did you really think that you could go to your local gun store and find something strong enough to penetrate the bulletproof fortress that is the FBI? Did you think that was going to turn out well for you, player? Did you really think that other people was gonna show up and be like, we got this, let's do this? It's us versus the FBI. So what, we defunding the FBI now? Ain't that technically like the police bigger brother? So
according to a person who she is working her way into getting the Mitch McConnell A-hole of the Year award from ITC here at the end of the year, Marjorie Taylor Greene believes we need to defund the FBI now. That's what she said. Those are words out of her mouth.
So again, man, like where does this end and where does it even begin? I don't even care about where it ends. Where does this begin? Like, how do you sit here and think just y'all mans put the dude in charge that signed the search warrant? And now y'all mad that he doing his job? Well, maybe y'all should have had the Senate hearing instead of just kind of backhanding and giving my boy the job. Maybe you would have found out that he was going to turn on your mans like that. Maybe you would have found out. Who knows? If you would have did the process correctly, like it's been done every other time, maybe you would have found out that he was going to turn on your man's first chance he got. Maybe you would have found out that he really wasn't going to ride for Agent Orange like that, like y'all thought he was. But joke's on you, he's actually doing his job correctly. And Mr. Ricky over here thought that he could go in and supply justice to the FBI. Who else gonna do this? Who else gonna be the one to sit here and be like, hey, Mr. FBI agents, y'all messing up? What was you thinking, bro? And then you left a manifesto on Truth Social. You put a plea out. You put a plea out there, and your people didn't come through, bro. You put your plans out there, and your people ignored you, bro. Like, oh, he actually about to do that. Yikes! We didn't actually mean it. We know our guns ain't good enough. Come on, man. I just can't. Where does this begin? Like, who did you really? Mr. Ricky, you really thought that this was going to turn out well for you, bro? I cannot. You know what? I can. But still, though, you tried to break into the FBI with your regular guns? With your regular degular?
This is a prime example of, is you dumb or is you stupid?
And somehow your regular gun shop got enough weaponry to keep the military from taking your stuff, and you can't even get into one building with your small militia. You couldn't make it into the building. You couldn't even make it into the building, bro. But yet you got enough to stop the military from taking your stuff if it ever happened. All right, DJ.
It's the point I've been trying to make to people for years about guns in this country. It's like, dude, they talk about, oh, you might need them if there's a tyrannical government. My boy, they have tanks, bombs, and planes. we lost already, dog. Like it's already over. Like
you see the budget they got to arm themselves, and the budget you got to arm yourself.
Remember this, people. The military budget always goes up. Everything else gets cut. Military budget always going up. You really think we gonna win that? Nah, bro.
Come on, Mr. Ricky. You got to do more better.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was another trip into the mind of a madman. That was Mace's madness. But he's right though. Like, I mean, Darrell, for real, think about this for a second. Like, I know we just wrapped the segment, but I gotta ask, how dumb does somebody have to be legitimately to sit here and say, oh, well, I'm gonna try and break in the FBI? How dumb do you have to be?
It's like going to what was the thing? Like, what was it like last year? They were trying to storm Area or something. What was
Area
it?
51.
It's the same equivalent. You don't know there's freaking mines under there, or like some like proximity mines and shit, and you just want to run out there and say, hey, it's like that one movie. Did y'all see that movie? I know it's like there's a channel on YouTube that breaks down like what would you do, what the right decisions to do in these movies to avoid these death games and shit. Again, another fine, 15. I'm on 15 right now. I'm about to hit myself with 20 today.
I mean, you might as well
just throwing a 20 out there. But they had this guy. There was one movie. He literally was stepped on a mine, and he was he was just there. He didn't know it was like not going to explode, but the guy literally came out there and kept on visiting to make sure he was okay. And he was like, hey, you could have stepped off the whole time. You were just there fighting off wolves, everything, and you're just sitting there. Like, that's horrible. It's like that type of stuff. It's horrible. It's just the same equivalent. It's like, hey, don't be a dummy. Stop. Get some help. That's what it is. But we can do some.
What other bad decisions have people made? That, like, what you talking? I don't even know this channel that you're talking about. Like, what? Give me an example of what this dude talking about, or some decisions that people could have made better, and that they somehow would survive. Then.
I don't even want to think about that. That's
bro. Bad. Listen, man. Like I said, we done already wrapped up the segment, bro. But why do people make these decisions, bro? Like, what in the world do you have to be thinking to be so angry of people doing their job that you just have to be like, nope, I got to go give them a piece of my mind?
There's a little bit of entitlement. A little bit.
What are you entitled to, though? Like
in your mind, like, you just wake up. It's like the same thing, the equivalent, like if you're going to wake up and choose violence and not violence. If you're going to go ahead and try to break into the FBI and not think they have bulletproof glass, get like an AK or something and get armor piercing bullets. Do something.
See, so according to his posts on Truth Social, he said he thought he actually had the right equipment to break through the bulletproof glass, but he did not. He underestimated the strength of the bulletproof glass, or he overestimated his ammunition, per se. Like, I just don't get it, man.
Why didn't he just wait till someone came out the front door? And
right, you know what I'm saying? Just take somebody out, or you just wanted to slide into the entire FB. It was the Cincinnati district. It was basically like the Cincinnati FBI office. Apparently,
was it like the bureau or something like that?
I'm not too sure, but I know it was Cincinnati. So I guess whatever their building is there. First off, does the FBI actually have like FBI, like a sign that says FBI on their building, or do you have to like freaking research this and you got
to actually go into like knowing where like people's jobs are type stuff.
Okay.
So you got like, it's like the same thing like the like a military Navy base.
Okay.
It's like that. Like you're not just gonna go ahead and just see the Navy base like, hey, this is the office, direct office for their commander. You have to know somebody or know somebody that goes to that job to find out.
Yeah. Okay, so he probably knew a guy that actually works for the FBI and is, probably one of those drunken nights he actually slipped up and said where his building was, like where his office was or something. Mr. Ricky over there, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to be slightly respectful to these idiots. But yeah, man, I that stuff is so wild to me, bro. I can't let it go.
That was the only thing out here, Matt, you was outraged about this week?
No, it was not the only thing, but I since we got a few minutes here, let me Mr. Or Mrs. Marjorie Taylor Greene or what her name, I promise you, bro, she's gonna win the Mitch McConnell Award. Like I'm just setting y'all up right now, but apparently if we switched off the solar panels as our main source of energy, we wouldn't have any power after sunset, according to her, because she doesn't know how energy actually works. She doesn't know how batteries work. She doesn't know how any of this works, apparently. And apparently to her, when the sun goes down, the power goes out.
How old is she?
You know what, man? If I just had to slide a number out there, I'd say like 47. She's got to be about, well, I don't know, man. With Botox and all this other stuff, she might be about 55. You never know, man. You never know. She might be young. Who knows? But she look old. She looks like she's stressed. Look like she's out there lying, and she's stressed because she's lying. And she knows she's lying, but she's got to go out there. She's got to go out there and lie anyways, because that's all she's got. She's got no real propensity to do the job other than lie. But yeah, man,
ignorance.
Oh man, bro, to just go out. To go out and just know you gonna lie, like that has to make your job. Honestly, that has to make your job so interesting to just know you just about to slide out into a group of people and just lie. You just about to go out. It's probably, it has to be a performance for them. They probably, after that, they probably go back into the dressing room. They probably wipe the lie off their face, drink a bottle of water, purify their soul with 3 Hail Marys or something. I don't know. But the way that these individuals is going out here and lying in front of people, I know they got it. They have to know they're lying. They can't believe this. They have to know they're lying.
So what you're saying is that they need to get purified in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Exactly. They need to do it. They might, the whole lake might just completely freaking dry out if too many of them go at the same time. It just might be too much for the lake to handle.
All right. Well, let's get sidetracked here, but moving forward here, we've got now the AFC teams left to pick here, and then we've got our award winners real fast. So we might as well start with the AFC East. Mase, who you got as your division winner?
This is going to be pretty easy. It's got to be Buffalo. They just seem to be getting better. I think Gabriel Davis may have the breakout year that they expected. He's going to build on what we saw at the end of the year and into the playoffs for them. And I think that he will be the X factor for that offense. Because, obviously we always know that Diggs is going to get the double teams and all that. Von Miller is going to actually bring a true pass rush to that team, which that's pretty much all they've been missing as a defense. So I think Buffalo is just gonna blow the doors off the AFC East.
I can't say that I disagree with you there. For me, this is very easy. Buffalo Bills. I know some people are going to say, well, you guys are always big up in Belichick around here. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean he can beat the best quarterback in his division and one of the top arguably easily top 5 quarterbacks in the league, right? So it's a whole different ballgame. I think Buffalo does continue to win this division. So, Darrell, who do you got as your team winning the AFC East? Excuse me.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody was going with anything different there. All right, Mase, who you got as your second place team?
I have Miami here. I just think they really have too much talent to not be successful. Like I don't expect them to keep up with Buffalo by any means, but there's just so much talent on that team, offensively and defensively. Eventually, it has to go well for them.
So you riding the Tua train, huh? You riding the hype train?
Not necessarily. I honestly just believe in the talent around Tua.
Darrell, who you got as your second place team?
Patriots.
Surprisingly, I'm actually in agreement here with Darrell. I do not believe in Miami as a team. I think we're going to see them take a step back because I think there is a absolute disrespect of how good of a coach Brian Flores was for that team. And they're going to see that they made a huge mistake getting rid of him. It never should have happened. We've seen now that their owners, out here on some BS and never really believed in the man in the first place. So I think that's going to come back and kick them right in the teeth. So my second place team has got to be the Patriots. I know even though their defense lost J.C. Jackson, and some will say they'll step back, Bill always finds another guy. That's just what he does. So
maybe this is Jonathan Joseph's year to step up and be the guy.
Maybe. Hey, don't go nowhere. Make sure you hit that subscribe down at the bottom. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you share us. We only grow with you guys. That's it. That's all I'm here for. Came to harass you. Like I said, hit and subscribe, people. Hit and subscribe. I'm looking at you. You see me? Right in the eyes. I'm waiting for you to do it. We'll see. It'll probably be some unknown dude just like Malcolm Butler was, right? And then be like, oh, you got another one. But moving forward here, one of the, I think, more wide open divisions in the league here. We've got the AFC South. Yes, some will say that the Titans had won the division multiple years in a row, but I think this still leaves the division wide open because it wasn't like they were that much better than all the other teams in the league. So, Mase, who you got winning the AFC? What are they?
South.
South. There we go. Sorry. Lost my mind for a second.
I have the Colts here. Matt Ryan is a much better quarterback than we've given him. Not necessarily that we've given him credit for. I think we all kind of understand Matt Ryan was solid. He's not going to throw you out of games. And I think that defense is still going to be there. There'll probably be a step back because they're losing a defensive coordinator, but they still have the talent. Shaquille Leonard now, he goes by his middle name now instead of Darius Leonard. So Shaquille Leonard, him and Defoe will still be top tier players. I think they will be that unit is still going to be solid, and Jonathan Taylor has probably turned himself into a top 3 running back in this league, maybe top 2. I just think that they will they'll find a way to win that division because I think the other teams have Tennessee's taken a step back.
Darrell, who you got?
Texans.
Word?
Yeah. I don't believe in Jacksonville, and I don't believe in them Titans. I'm sorry. I just don't. Not this year. I think this is different. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to be picking these odd ones, and then when that stuff happens, this is going to be like Golden State. I go ahead and say Golden State the whole time until y'all freaking get it into y'all head that, hey, Golden State's going to win. No, let's put it in the facts. Hey, they're losing. Hey, I don't believe in Clay's legs, his knees and everything else. Yeah, and they end up being champions, right? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I want to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Lock me in right now so I can laugh at y'all later. That's what I'm going to do.
Regular season cannot come fast enough so he can start being wrong on his picks, man. It cannot come fast enough. Oh, God. Oh. For me, I am going with the Colts. I think the Colts getting Matt Ryan have become markedly better than they were last year because Carson Wentz stinks. Okay, he's awful, as we discussed earlier here when we were talking about the Commanders. So I most definitely am going to have to go with the Colts here. I think they are the team that is easily going to win this division. Mase, who you got as your second place team?
Oddly enough, I have Jacksonville as the second place team here because I really believe that Tennessee is going to take a step back. Like, I understand Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, man, but I think they've turned themselves into a one-dimensional team. I don't know, man. I cannot be a believer in Tannehill. I understand that he's I don't think he's as bad as we say he is, but I just don't believe in him without any talent at receiver. He's got nothing. He's got no proven receivers out there, no tight ends to help him out. So I can't pick Tennessee as the number 2 team in that division. I understand the defense is solid. You know, they're a little suspect from time to time. Kevin Byard is top tier, but after that, man, I can't pick Tennessee as a second team in that division. I got to go Jacksonville. I just think that something's gonna go. Well, they can't go any further down than Urban Meyer. So I mean, they can't be worse.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But Darrell, who you got as your second place team?
Colts. I just reversed it. Just Texans and then Colts. That's it. I was going to pick Colts first.
For me, I like where Mase is at there because I do think that the Titans are going to take a step back and that the Jags are most definitely going to take a step forward. But I can't go all the way. They ain't going that far back. You need to calm that the heck down, bro. You get a little wild now, okay? Talking about Tennessee going to step back. Yeah, and you know what's going to happen? Tannehill going to hit the bench, and then their offense going to get electric with Malik Willis. So I don't think it's going to be that far back. I think they end up being in a position to where some of these games early in the year that Tannehill is probably going to lose them. It's going to make them not end up being able to make the playoffs. And I think that the Colts probably win this division by no more than like 2 games. You know, I think it's really like about a 2-game difference in their win and loss here. And that's really how this ends up playing out here. Moving forward here, though, we have got another division here that, in my opinion, the only other division that could argue with the NFC West as being potentially the best division in football, and that is the AFC West. So, Mase, we have seen the Chiefs dominating this division as of recent. Who you got winning?
No, I have the Raiders.
And hold on, what team do you have? I didn't hear you. I didn't quite hear what you said. What
Las
team?
Vegas Raiders.
There, I see. Now I heard you. Oh, so you went with the Raiders. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but, I just think they've done everything necessary to boost themselves. You look how well Derek Carr has played without a true number 1 receiver on his team. And now you give him the best receiver in the league. I don't see how that team they get better on defense, obviously. I just see that. I just see them this being the year. Excuse me.
So what you're really saying is you trust Josh McDaniels. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Interesting. This division is really wild to me. I think this will be like one game is going to decide it, and it's going to be a division game. I would love to say that the Raiders are going to win the division, but I'm sorry, dog. I'm going to forever bet on black until you show me you can knock Patty Mahomes off the top of the division. I ain't going to believe that it can happen because, look, man, one thing I noticed yesterday in watching the Bears and the Chiefs play, they're going back to that Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb Philly offense where it's like, oh, we'll hand it off. Don't worry. Oh, Patrick, you think he won't take the check down? No, he'll check it down because guess what? Our guys are all still faster than yours. Our tight end, he's still better than any of your defenders that you can put on him. So good luck. But yeah, I have to go with the Chiefs. Like, come on, bro. We talking about Patty Mahomes, Mase. You really saying you don't believe in Patty to win the division?
I'm not saying I
pick Derek Carr over Patty.
I'm not saying I don't believe in Mahomes. I'm just I just think the Chiefs secondary is devoid of a playmaker at this current time. So I do see them being a little soft on the back end, and given what they're going to be going up against in the division, I think that may be their Achilles heel.
So you just don't believe in Justin Reed, huh? Wow, the disrespect. Wow, bro. How you going to disrespect him like that, bro? Well, hold on. After all this time, you think he a good player. Now you're going to just disrespect the man?
I'm not disrespecting him. I just you lose the Honey Badger.
But the Honey Badger was falling off.
But you still have to know where he is in the secondary. You still have to know where he lines up at. You still have to be aware of your ball placement in his vicinity. I don't think he can. Reed, I don't think Justin maybe a few games into the season he'll command that type of respect after people test him and he makes them pay. But I need to see him be the playmaker for that secondary.
Can't believe this dude turned on Patty Mahomes. Darrell, who you got?
I'm not turning on Patty Mahomes.
He turned on Patty, bro.
We're still in West, right?
Yep, AFC West.
Okay. Did y'all? This is still the first pick or a second pick?
Yeah, first. Yeah, your winner, your division winner.
Okay. We gotta go KC. We got to. That's number one. You gotta do number one. Maybe he had a choke. We already know about his choke, and he has some distractions last year. His brother and wife and everything. So kind of messed them up, So they were all what was it? They do anything for clout. So it was that type of stuff going on. So maybe this year might be different. Focus is at hand. Clean himself up a little bit. That's all. We'll keep it like that. I'll give him that. That's all. That's all I'm going to give him.
All right, Mase, who you got as your second place team?
Pick it right.
I gotta go the Chargers here.
He is fully disrespecting Patrick Mahomes, bro.
I'm not, bro. I am looking at what these teams have done in the offseason. I am looking at what they have done to combat Mahomes and KC as the leaders of that division. And I think that this could very well be one of them situations where there are 3 teams out of one division making the playoffs, but I just don't think that our last division will let that happen. So it's going to be 2, and I think it's going to be those 2.
Darrell, who you got?
I will never support you, even though you're on the Broncos. So I'll go with Raiders. I'm picking the Raiders. Pick the Raiders. I'm really serious about that. I don't care if he got to trade it and be their quarterback. It's not happening. I'm not supporting him. No shape and form. I'm not supporting that man.
you ain't trying to ride. You let's ride.
Let's ride.
No. Shit.
And cornball, man. Let's ride. Whatever, though. I'll let them live. My second place team, this is actually very easy for me. It's the Chargers, without a shadow of a doubt. The Raiders, I feel like they got lucky last year. They had some fortunate breaks, like when they played Baltimore with no secondary early in the season. Like they got some very, very fortunate ones. I think they will be improved. So I actually am picking 3 teams to come out of this division in the playoffs, but my second place team is going to be the Chargers. The Chargers are going to be better, but I don't know how much better they're going to be because a lot of that is depending on the health of Khalil Mack and Derwin James, where when you look at both of those guys over the last 4 years, both of them have had injuries after injuries. So if those guys stay healthy, they're going to be a very dynamic team. But I also don't believe that their coach knows the best about clock management and in-game situation management, because last year, if he just manages this situation right, his team is in the playoffs instead of sitting at home watching. So I lost a lot of faith on him in that moment. So I think the Chargers will be the second place team. And while I'm saying it, the third team that will be making the playoffs will be the Raiders. I do think that they will be still good enough to sneak into the playoffs, because unlike Mase, I don't believe that this last division here will be actually giving us 2 teams. I think they're only going to give us 1. So moving forward here to the last division we've got, which is the AFC North. Mase, who you got as your division winner?
Baltimore. Why would I pick any other team? It's gonna be Baltimore. They're the best coached team in that division, and if their secondary stays healthy, or if they just stay healthy, period, I just don't see it really being too difficult of a time for them. J.K. Dobbins comes back. He gives them another explosive playmaker on that offense. So, yeah.
Darrell, who you got as your division winner?
Bengals.
The Bengals.
Bengals.
Interesting. Okay. This one's easy for me. Baltimore almost made the playoffs last year when they had some of the biggest amount of injuries I've ever seen on a team, and then still managed to be good. Lamar is probably not going to miss the amount of games that he missed last year this year. I think that team goes on and tries to reassert their dominance. I think Pittsburgh will still be good in that division. I think Cincinnati will still be good, but I think what's going to happen is, and why I'm not picking 2 playoff teams, is that division is going to beat up a lot on each other. And I think Baltimore is going to be the one team who probably comes out of it like 5-1 in the division, where the other teams are going to come out, 3-3, 2-4s, stuff like that. And that's going to cost them in the end. I think the top 3 teams in this division, their end of the season records are all going to be very close. It's all going to be within 1 game. But like I said, I think the division record is going to end up showing the difference there and why Baltimore ends up getting into the playoffs. So Mase, who do you got as your second team in the NFC and the AFC North, excuse me?
I got to go Pittsburgh. They're just like I said, man, the defense we know is going to be, they're going to lean on the defense. We know this. Najee Harris, I think he's ready to carry the load, literally and figuratively, because he's a large human being. Whoever they choose at quarterback, we know they already have the formula for whatever you want to call it, as a young or maybe a quarterback that you don't want to throw the ball 40 times a game. They already have the formula to win in that fashion. So this is nothing new for Pittsburgh to be in that situation with the guy. So yeah, man, like I said, I there will be a bunch of back and forth in this division. And the reason why I'm not picking Cincinnati is simply because you can't. I think what happened they won a lot of close games, and we see it all the time where if a team's winning late fourth quarter games, usually that next year it doesn't. That those balls don't bounce their way. Like those plays don't go their way the following year, man. So you can't. I think what happens is there really wasn't a lot of film on Joe Burrow. Let's be honest here. He played a few games in his rookie year, got injured, and comes back. I mean, we knew he was going to be good in his rookie year. We saw what he was doing before the injury, so we knew he was going to be good. And he got now teams have a full year of film on their offensive scheme, how they like to beat teams in the passing game. So I don't think they'll be as dynamic, even though their playmakers are still there. But I think teams will have a better idea of how to rein them in. So I have Pittsburgh as the number 2 team in that division.
Darrell, who you got as your second team in the division?
Baltimore. Bengals and Ravens. That's what I got.
Okay. Fair. All right. For me, this is same as Darrell here, except we just have the team's inverse there, right? I'm going with the Bengals. I think the Steelers are going to have a good year, but the problem is that I don't have faith in Mitchell Trubisky, and putting Pickett in there is going to be a rough go of it, right? I think they'll still be good. This is another division. Like I said, I think the division is going to beat up on each other a lot. I think all three of the top 3 teams in this division all come out with winning records, but I just think that the Bengals are going to end up being a second place team over the Steelers there. I think it'll be really close though.
I'm right there with you. I could very well see the AFC West putting 3 teams in the playoffs and the AFC North only bringing 1 out. But I just get the feeling that we will get 2 teams out of that out of the AFC North. So it's kind of tough because it can swing either way, man. I think the AFC West can easily put 3 teams in the playoffs, but at the same time, the AFC North will have something to say about that.
Darrell, you're getting off lucky this time. All right, you're getting off lucky. Wow. I didn't ask you why you made these picks because I'm going to expose you during the season. That's why. So we'll get back to that. But last but not least, here we have got our award winners we've got to pick this year. So let's start right at the top with the big one. MVP. Mase, who you got winning the MVP this year?
Oh, man, this is tough. Oh, man. MVP. I could just cop out and go with the devil again, but I'm not going to do it. That's like the cop out here. But you know what, man? I'm going with Lamar. I think this is revenge tour. He's coming back on a mission. I think he probably is taking it a little more personal than he's maybe led to believe. But I think the whole Hollywood saying that he wasn't in an offense for him. I think Lamar is gonna prove him wrong, prove him that the offense can sling the pigskin around the yard a little bit. And Lamar.
Darrell, who you got as your pick for MVP?
For what division? Just in general?
No, just
the MVP.
League MVP, bro.
Since when they start giving out division MVPs, fool? They do that.
That'd be good. That'd be good to give everybody a participation trophy. That's what you have to do. I don't know. I want to go with Mace's answer. Shit.
There's 20. Ha! There we go. There it is. Fresh 20 for Darrell. Fine.
That cash app is gonna look good.
Boy, hey, it's gonna look real good, boy. Hey, whoever end up winning the giveaway, it's gonna look real good for you. You're gonna be feeling good.
I hope they thank me for it too.
Get a thank you message on the ITC Facebook page for your.
I will make sure
I
when
can't-
it's sent.
I can't help myself. I can say this. I can't help myself. I'm a parent.
I will make sure they know. Hey, say Merry Christmas from Darrell. Okay. But for me, this one actually might surprise you a little bit. I think you are right, Mase. I think Lamar's going to come out and have a heck of a year. I think he's going to go crazy. But we know that the MVP is a narrative-driven award. And I think the narrative this year, because this team is going to be red hot probably the whole season, is going to be all about Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen ends up winning his first MVP this year because just like I do, Mase, they want Josh Allen to be that dude. They want him to really, really, really bad. So I think he ends up winning the MVP this year. It should end up being a close vote, though. I think, like I said, I think Lamar is going to have a crazy year, but I know how this goes. Moving forward, though, Mase, who you got for Defensive Player of the Year?
I got my guy, bro. 11 from heaven, baby. Micah Parsons. I got my guy. He's about to have a better year than he did his rookie season, bro. 11 from heaven is about to rip teams a new butthole.
Bro,
he's ready.
Darrell. He's already drunk on the Kool-Aid, bro. He's already drunk on it.
You know what? I want to pick every pick that Mase says. I'm going to do it because I don't want to be. So if two people is wrong, but I want to go with Mase, so I don't get like penalized for this nonsense.
So you're hoping that if it's wrong, it just deflects to Mase, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I see how you doing.
Yep, it's smart. It's smart. I got a game plan for these.
I can't stand him, bro.
Oh my goodness, bro. All right.
But you got to understand, though, in my defense, y'all are really more of the football fans, more than me. Just saying, like y'all are in deep, but I'm only in deep for a certain thing. So I get a little bit of slack. Y'all got names. I'm just over here just waving the flag to the team, So I'm good. I'm good. At least I'm being honest.
Okay. All right, DJ. All right. So my pick is actually probably going to surprise you guys. I'm going with Nick Bosa. I think that Niners team, man, they are some dogs, bro. And I think this year, if he starting off the year fully healthy, that boy going to show you why they drafted him that high. And I think this is one of those years where we see him have a year similar to TJ Watt's, where it's like, whoa, this dude might mess around and get the sack record. So I'm going to have to go with Nick Bosa there. Moving forward, Mase, who you got for Offensive Rookie of the Year?
You know what, man? I think honestly, man, I hated that offensive linemen never get mentioned in stuff like this because I think Linderbaum for Baltimore would probably be the best offensive rookie from this draft class, but the offensive lineman's never gonna, because if we're really talking about it, Creed Humphrey should have been rookie of the offensive rookie of the year last year but offensive linemen are never gonna get it, so it would just be a waste of a pick to say an offensive lineman here. So you know what, man? I think Drake London, man. I think Atlanta's going to go back to back with Offensive Rookie of the Years, just simply because who they got to force feed him the ball.
Darrell, yeah. Let me guess. You going right with Mase?
100%.
Oh God, bro, so whack, bro, so whack. Like, ugh.
It is what it is. If one's wrong, both are wrong.
Man, whatever. I'm gonna go George Pickens. I think he's gonna see a lot of single coverage this year. I think they're going to be shifting coverage to Claypool consistently throughout the year, and he's going to catch people often and early. And
he got that dog in him.
Yeah, and that's a dude who I know who will go and fight for the ball, and he runs some pretty good routes. So I'm going to have to go with Pickens there. That's my pick for offensive rookie of the year. I don't know, man. Something about him. I think it's a combination for me of talent and opportunity, because we know he's going to have a whole lot of opportunity because they only have Claypool to throw the ball to currently. That's like a known commodity at least. All right, but Mase, who you got for defensive rookie of the year?
I think this one's a little tougher. You know what? I'm gonna go. Man, I think this is gonna be tough. There's no clear winner. I'm stuck between two right now. Stuck between George Karlaftis and Briscoe, because I listen, man. You know what? I'm gonna go Briscoe here. Your guys' safety, bro. I think he's going to be a baller. He's going to be around the ball. I think he is a star waiting to happen in this league, and it's kind of hard to. I don't know how he made it, and I don't know how he wasn't. You know, I understand why he was picked in the second round, but that's a whole different. Hey, bro, I think Briscoe's gonna be that guy, man. You look at his tape at Penn State, man. He was all over the place.
He's not Gerald Briscoe. He's Brisker. Not Gerald Briscoe, like one of the stooges for Vince McMahon. Okay?
That's what I was thinking.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
But to that point, I agree. He is going to be the rookie year. We already know that's who Darrell's going with. So I ain't even gonna ask this brother right now. He didn't shake my fist at him. But yeah, I think Brisker is going to have an opportunity to make a lot of plays this year. It seems like we're going to have him, especially playing lower in the box a lot. Him and Eddie Jackson seems like it's going to be kind of interchangeable here. He's going to make some plays. He's already shown a nose for the ball. He had a nose for the ball at Penn State, so that is 100% my pick. I think he's another guy where, just like Pickens, I think opportunity and talent is going to show you how good this guy is, because he's going to have all the play time in the world, right? We don't have nobody else to go out there with Eddie Jackson but him, so he's going to have the opportunities. So now we get to what is probably the hardest pick here. And Darrell, you better not just say whatever Mase says. You better make your own pick here, punk. All right, yeah. That's enough of you. Super Bowl picks. We will start here with Darrell, so he can't pull it on Mase. So Darrell, who you got in the Super Bowl this year? See, you know what? You makes me mad, Mase.
Bucks versus Colts.
I guess, bro. I mean, I know you just picking some stuff right at this point. So whatever, bro.
Wait. Take that back. I'm really stuck between two teams. I don't have faith Patty's going to get to the Super Bowl this year. I just say he's going to be good. But I think Buffalo might hit the Super Bowl this year. Buffalo, and I really think Brady's going to do one last stand. So that's why I'm saying Bucks. So I'm saying really Bills and Bucks for Super Bowl. That's my pick, honestly. I have a strange feeling Colts might just go there and snag it, but I really
got winning it.
Winning it? I told you this is the Brady show. You don't bet against Brady. Brady get his last thing. You know, this NFL is always acting like a soap opera, because I'm telling you right now, there ain't no way in hell that I seen Seahawks choke against Brady, Falcons choke against Brady, and we just handed off the Super Bowl on that one Eagles thing because I know that was a pay job. That wasn't real. That wasn't real.
I'm done with this dude. Mase, who you got for the Super Bowl this year? I'm done with it. I don't even know why I asked him. Who you got?
This is pretty tough, man. I could go.
Yes,
I think it's gonna be, barring injury. I really don't see Buffalo being stopped this year in the AFC. I think they're gonna represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, and the NFC. Man, I know I picked the Rams to win that division, but like I said, San Francisco has their number. I think it could easily be San Francisco in the Super Bowl because that's a gritty squad. You know, Shanahan has them boys ready to roll. I got to go Buffalo and San Francisco because we've already seen they don't need to win the division to be successful in the playoffs. They don't need home field to be successful in the playoffs.
So who's your winner?
You know, I have Buffalo, man. I barring injury, dog. I just don't see them being beat, man. I mean, barring injury, dog, I don't see them being beat. I think they've done everything necessary offensively and defensively in the offseason to be the team, bro. And I think Gabriel Davis is ready to break out this year. Von Miller's going to give them a much-needed edge rusher. So, I mean,
I'm not mad at the pick. For me, though, I go a little different than you. I'm going Ravens and 49ers. I feel like the Ravens are a team that have a lot to prove to everyone right now, including themselves. And with the fact that there's no way that they could be as injured as they were last year, I think they end up getting a lot of guys back that are playmakers for them. Guys like Humph now are able to get back to more of their playmaking ability because now they know they actually got some guys back there that can play with them, right? I think they get to the Super Bowl, and I think their opponent will end up being the 49ers. I think they have another magical season with a first-year starter like they did with Cap. I think it ends up showing everybody that they made the right decision in moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo.
And we still don't know how they're going to make their team better once they finally move Garoppolo. Like, we don't know what that haul is going to be. We don't know the players that they're going to bring in, but it's going to be something to help that team immediately.
I'll be honest with you, Mase. I think they're going to have to cut them. I don't think anybody's going to trade them for Jimmy G. I think every team is looking at him right now saying, hey, y'all gonna have to cut him anyway. If you want to hold on to him, so be it. But I ain't giving you no value.
I feel like somebody will get desperate. I think somebody will get desperate. If the suspension for Uncle Touchy hits about 12 games.
Nah, bro, they riding with Brissett. They riding with him, Mase. They riding with him.
I don't know. I think they might give it.
I think the Browns view it in this way. If it ends up being like 12 games for Uncle Touchy, so what? We get another high draft pick. Yeah, we traded away our first round pick and stuff, but like that still means we're picking high in the other rounds. It doesn't really matter at this point. Now we're just adding in this. I think this year for Cleveland Browns ownership is a throwaway year. If they make the playoffs, so be it. If they don't, we got them next year when Deshaun ain't suspended. I don't think they really care. So that's how I feel on that. But yeah, I think this ends up being the year of the Ravens. I think they end up winning the Super Bowl, and all of the Lamar bashing has to be a complete stop. Done. Like no more after this man balls out and probably wins the bowl this year. So
my actual pick for the bowl is going to be Buffalo.
Oh, you're taking Buffalo to win it all. Interesting. But people, we thank you for coming and rocking with us again this week. Mase, tell the people where to find you.
You know, man, hit me up on Twitter at funky_stuff09 or Twitch at twitch.tv/swaggymace. Check your boy out.
Darrell, Mr. Low Elo Janitor himself, tell the people where to find you.
YouTube and Twitch, Low Elo Janitor. That's what we doing.
And you better go make my homie some food. I heard her say she was hungry. You better go make her some.
Her mom's out there.
You ain't. But of course, people, you know where to find me at JSpenDeMan everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. It's another good thing. People, me and Mase are going to start streaming something for you every Saturday here. We will be dropping the schedule with the start of the football season, so you guys will see what we're going to be rocking pretty much every week there. Also, for the people in the ITC League, y'all better hurry up and subscribe. I ain't doing no power rankings for nothing. You can kiss it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another resounding episode of your favorite weekly sports show, ITC
Sportsball.
Oh my God, what's wrong with him?